Welcome to the hardest restoration I have ever encountered. First up, we're going to replace this water damaged veneer, and I will be using regular veneer, not peel and stick. All right, so we need to get rid of the old veneer. I used my 5-in-1 tool at first. I used my chisel. The underlayer was also water damaged, so I had to remove that. Had to bust out the heat gun and then the chisel, and I was able to get the rest of it off. This took a lot longer than it looked. Once it was all off, I used my 80 grit sandpaper to smooth out the top of the chest bench. I used some Bondo because I did make a lot of divots to smooth out the top. You don't want any divots. Once the Bondo was dried, I went ahead and sanded that so we had a nice smooth surface. I laid out my veneer and cut out a little bit bigger than I needed. Then I went ahead and wiped it down to make sure it was all dust free after it dried. And I used my 90 strength spray adhesive, my veneer cutter, a putty knife, a T-square, and a utility knife, some tape to prevent any of the glue from going on the edges of this top. Spray generously. Lay down the veneer and use that putty knife and smooth it over and over and over again. I probably did that for about 3 to 5 minutes. I use my veneer cutter to get the edges. You can only do this on 90-degree angles. On the rest of the edges, you do have to use your T-square and utility knife. I use the putty knife to kind of make a dark line with the black of the plastic. It works. For the front, this was the most tedious part. I did use my T-square and utility knife, but it came down to having to just be very delicate with that utility knife and using my sander to smooth it all out. Once I got it all done, it was looking pretty darn good. So this is how it turned out. It will be stained. If you want to see the final look, hit that follow button.